92.1 Hank FM's partnership with Aledo Athletics over the past 25 years has been known for one thing: consistency, and that was just for football. But with the advent of other resources on our streaming side, the relationship with Aledo is advancing into other sports. For the first time, Aledo Girls and Boys Playoff Basketball will be carried here on NTX Varsity Sports.com. This evening, we start with the 14th ranked Lady Cats, who begin their playoff run here at Eagle Mountain High School, taking on Colleyville Heritage, a Class 5A Division I Region 1 opening round matchup. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Aledo Lady Cats Basketball on NTX Varsity Sports. I'm Kevin Lonnquist. I'm joined by my new media partner for NTX Varsity Sports, Parker Burrows. Lady Cats come into this game on a hot streak. They are 24-7, won the District 5-5A championship as they finished 12-0, first district title since 2018-19, and they have won 10 straight. Aledo is hoping that a challenging, and that's putting it nicely, their non-district schedule is the formula that will lead to another deep playoff run. Second-year head coach Donnie Ott directed them to play in tournaments down in Houston, their own tournament, and then over at the Sandra Meadows Classic over in Duncanville. So the Lady Cats should know what it means to play in big games. Aledo's defense has been its calling card all season. Lady Cats are allowing just 36.5 points per game. They're also averaging better than 9 steals per game. That starts with senior point guard Liz Griffin, who leads this team with nearly 2 pickoffs per game. Griffin and forward Tiara Butler lead the way in scoring as well at nearly 12 and 13 points per outing. They take on a Lady Panthers squad that is 15-16 and finished fourth in District 6-5A at 6-6. They are under the direction of head coach Courtney Lee. Lady Panthers are the second Division I seed. Colleyville Heritage shares the district with second-ranked and defending 5A state champion Denton Ryan, which is at the opposite side of this bracket. This is a team that struggles to score, relies on its defense. It's averaging only 36.8 points per game. Second year of a rebuild for this program that only won 7 games last season. This is the first meeting between Aledo and Colleyville Heritage since the 2023 5A Region 1 area playoff round. Lady Panthers won that contest 68-49. They met previously in 2017 in the same round, and Heritage also won that matchup. Needless to say, some time has passed. The winner moves on to the area round later this week, likely on Thursday, to take on either Joshua or Pascal. That game also being played tonight at Pascal. When we return on our pregame show, we'll have our visit with Aledo Girls head coach Donnie Ott, a check around the Class 5A Division I Region 1 bracket. A lot of playoff matchups are being played tonight. A look at the starting lineups and then the tip-off of this playoff game. Happy to have you with us here. Spread the word to friends, neighbors, and relatives outside the state. As long as the Lady Cats are playing, we're along for the ride. You're listening to Aledo Lady Cats Playoff Basketball on NTXVarsitySports.com, a production of the Worldwide Ranch. And we want to remind you that Aledo Athletics is brought to you by H5 Sports Barn. H5 Sports Barn and Knife Physio and Performance can help unlock your athletic potential and elevate your game like the Aledo Bearcats. With expert sports physical therapy, tailored recovery plans, and top-notch sports performance training, H5 Sports Barn, proud supporters of the Aledo Bearcats. And by Hiley Mazda. Head to Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth today. Their new state-of-the-art facility is conveniently located just off of I-30. Exit Las Vegas Trail and experience top-notch service and hassle-free buying. And don't forget to ask about this month's special offers. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, family-owned and operated for over 30 years. We'll take the break, come back. Donnie Ott is next. You're listening to Aledo Lady Cats Playoff Basketball on NTXVarsitySports.com.
Texas drivers, it's time to move up to Mazda at Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Get a 2025 Mazda CX-5 Turbo with 0.9% APR or lease for just $259 a month. Or go electrified with the 2026 Mazda CX-70 FEV with 0.9% APR or lease from $299 a month. Plus $750 Mazda loyalty or $500 military appreciation. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth and HileyMazdaofFortWorth.com.
This is Steely Bryce. I'm here to tell you about Platinum Collision. We are a premier full-service repair center. We are locally owned and operated, and we provide advanced yet affordable collision repair solutions to get you back on the road in no time. At Platinum Collision, our goal is to make it seem like your car never needed to visit a collision center in the first place. Check us out. Visit platinum-collision.com. That's platinum-collision.com. Platinum Collision, your full-service repair center.
For over 10 years, home builders and remodelers have trusted Oakline Floors for all their flooring needs. Whether you're a home builder needing full house design selections or a homeowner needing a fresh update, Oakline's experienced designers will guide you through the design process with your design requirements and project budget in mind. They have the largest flooring design center in Parker County. Visit oaklinefloors.net. Oakline Floors supports the Aledo Bearcats. Go Bearcats!
Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go! Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go!
Plains Capital Bank is excited to cheer on the amazing Aledo Bearcats for another great season. At Plains Capital, they take care of all your banking needs with exceptional service that makes you feel like an MVP. Get Plains Capital Bank on your team. Visit their branch at the shops at Willow Park, Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go Bearcats! Take state! Plains Capital Bank. Member FDIC.
Today's broadcast is sponsored in part by JDS Realty, where clients always come first. Buying or selling a home is more than a transaction. It's a life-changing experience. That's why the team at JDS Realty delivers personalized service, constant communication, and trusted guidance every step of the process. When experience, trust, and results matter most, choose JDS Realty for buyers, sellers, and families' futures everywhere.
Pre-game show continues. Now time to visit with Aledo Lady Cats head coach Donnie Ott before the Lady Cats open up the playoffs here at Eagle Mountain High School against Colleyville Heritage. And coach, obviously you all had a little bit of time between the end of the regular season last week against Azle and now getting ready for this one. What was the main things that you stressed with your ball club?
Just focusing on our scout. We've had a really good opportunity to break a lot of film down from them. We gave the girls some assignments. They broke off into teams and kind of broke them down and brought some really good scout reports back. So just kind of paid attention to those, added a few wrinkles for today that we have to be prepared of against their zone. So I think we're really locked in and ready to go.
The one thing I look at your team is the fact that obviously your defense really has been carrying the season, allowing only around 36 points a game. What's been the key in terms of just making sure that that's been executing the way you want to game in and game out?
Yeah, we have to really pay attention to what we're doing in the gaps and on the help side with our backside help, and just really kind of staying disciplined, staying true to what we know is good for us, and that's the defensive end of the floor. We really focus on that heavily the last 2 years, and I think our girls have really bought into that, and they understand that travels, and in the playoffs, you got to have that because sometimes you're not going to shoot good in new gyms, and so it's important that we can rely on that defense to be the backbone of our success. All
right, so let's just talk about the fact that you're playing here at Eagle Mountain. I don't think you played here at all this year, maybe not ever since this building opened up a couple of years ago. So when you come into an environment like this that you're not familiar with, what are the things that you have to try and do to make sure that it's just another gym, there's just some different backdrops to it?
So we were fortunate to get shoot-around time today. So we had a good 30 to 45 minutes today, and we really scripted a good practice routine that the girls are comfortable with. We let them have a hand in planning it so it'd be comfortable for them and things that they really enjoy. And so I think the practice part's been really good today, and I feel like it feels routine to them.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Colleyville Heritage. This is a proud program. I mean, a couple of years ago, they got to the regional semifinals. They've also been to the regional quarterfinals. So this is a program that's obviously understands what it takes to play meaningful basketball at this point of year. So what do you all look at in terms of when you're playing a program like this, even though they may not have the record to show it, but they also have the reputation behind them?
Yeah, we understand that about Colleyville, and Coach Lee does a great job there. They got some good ball players. They got a heck of a post player inside, number 22, that is going to be a problem for us, and we're going to have to really hone in on. So, we just understand that every team in the state has their own little niche and their own little piece of history, and we just hope that we can keep focusing on ours, and hopefully one day down the road we're that team that people are respecting when we get to this round because of our history.
All right, so let's just talk about them a little bit further, because it looks like they want to grind the game, slow it down. They want to keep it somewhere in the 30s. I think they only average roughly 36, 37 points a game. So when you run against a team like that wants to essentially take the air out of the ball, patience has to be key for your group, I would imagine.
Yeah, they're going to, they tend to, typically is shown to sit in a zone and really try to force teams to beat them from the outside. Hopefully our goal today is to pressure them a little bit and get them up and down, make them and force them into some bad decisions and get out and run. I mean, we're trying to push the pace and force them to play at our pace. So I think if we can get up on them early, that'll force that issue.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about your senior leadership here. When you have, let's just talk about, if you will, the tip of the spear in Liz Griffin, the kind of season that she's had for you, and you can speak of other seniors as well, but what has she meant in terms of her progress? Second leading scorer on this team, leads your team in steals too. So what has that meant to just see her progress the way she has?
It's been great. I mean, she's really responded to the coaching the last 2 years and has really kind of improved her game from being so one-dimensional last year with the shooting piece now to she's scoring inside, outside, distributing, playing defense. And so I think that's really helped the rest of the team to kind of see that, hey, if our senior can buy into the coaching and the changes that we're asking of her, certainly we all can do the same. And Brenna Clark's been a great leader. Jaylee Owens has been someone who played limited last year and is playing a lot this year, and it shows her toughness and grinding out through the program. So we really got some great seniors. Masoma, I mean, they're just a really good group of seniors that have contributed a lot. And, of course, T, the anchor of our defense and playing real strong offensively.
Yeah, and the fact that you all had this deep playoff run last year, got to the regional semifinals, and so they got a taste of what it's like to grind out a couple of playoff wins and then before they got to Tascosa. So is there anything that this group can draw upon from last year that means anything for this year, or do you wipe the slate clean and say we start over even though what we did last year?
We're trying to start all over. This is a new team and different dynamics, and we understand that. So we're just kind of trying to focus on just a new year and just things that we need to do. It's a different route. We're playing different teams, than last year, different styles of teams. So it's more so just about focusing on us and what we've got to do each game.
All right. Finally, for you, if you are to move on to the area round later this week, what's it going to come down to for your squad?
We're going to have to be successful defensively, playing hard, getting up in them, making them force some turnovers that they're not used to, making some bad decisions for them offensively and just getting out and running, taking value in our possessions on offense, not just cranking up a bunch of threes, but making sure we're taking good quality threes.
All right, look forward to it. Good luck tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all.
Pregame show continues after this timeout, and you're listening to Aledo Lady Cats Basketball on NTX Varsity Sports.com.
Texas drivers, it's time to move up to Mazda at Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Get a 2025 Mazda CX-5 Turbo with 0.9% APR or lease for just $259 a month. Or go electrified with the 2026 Mazda CX-70 FEB with 0.9% APR or lease from $299 a month. Plus $750 Mazda loyalty or $500 military appreciation. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth and HileyMazdaofFortWorth.com.
This is Steely Bryce. I'm here to tell you about Platinum Collision. We are a premier full-service repair center. We are locally owned and operated, and we provide advanced yet affordable collision repair solutions to get you back on the road in no time. At Platinum Collision, our goal is to make it seem like your car never needed to visit a collision center in the first place. Check us out. Visit platinum-collision.com. That's platinum-collision.com. Platinum Collision, your full-service repair center.
Today's broadcast is sponsored in part by JDS Realty, where clients always come first. Buying or selling a home is more than a transaction. It's a life-changing experience. That's why the team at JDS Realty delivers personalized service, constant communication, and trusted guidance every step of the process. When experience, trust, and results matter most, choose JDS Realty for buyers, sellers, and families' futures everywhere.
Hello, this is Pastor Clark Bozier. I am the pastor of the Willow Park Baptist Church, which is located at 777 Crown Point Boulevard in Willow Park, Texas. Willow Park Baptist Church is a proud sponsor of Aledo High School. I'd like to take this opportunity to personally invite you and your family to attend one of our Sunday morning services at 8:30 or 10, and again that evening at 5 p.m. For more information, visit our website, willowparkbaptist.org. Willow Park Baptist Church. We are a church on an eternal mission. Go Bearcats.
Back here in Eagle Mountains High School's gym, first playoff game for the Aledo Lady Cats. Hopefully there will be more to come. And we should tell you, if you are listening to us on this streaming device and you are at the gym watching this game, there will be a 20-second delay here in terms of what you're watching versus what you're hearing. So if you're saying to yourself, I just saw that and he's calling that, that's the reason why. So just wanted to point that out to you. But again, tell everybody that you know about these games being streaming on NTX Varsity Sports.com. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's ball game. Aledo will be the visitor in this game. They will start off with junior guard Kate Jackson. She's 5'9". The other guard is going to be the point guard, Elizabeth Griffin, the senior. And then the other guard is going to be Brooklyn Dempsey. She's a junior at 5'7". Post is going to be senior Brenna Clock. She's 6 foot. And then the other starter on the post is going to be 5'10" senior Tiara Butler, the move-in from Virginia. For Colleyville Heritage, they will line up like this under the direction of Courtney Lee, who is in her 4th season, now taking this program to the playoffs in 3 of her 4 years. Didn't make it last year, but this is the way her starting lineup looks. She'll go with a senior guard in Landon Blewett. She's 5'7". Other forward is going to be a 5'11" senior. That's Chloe Holt. Another guard is going to be Elle Gardner. She's a 5'2" senior. Zadie Munoz is a senior guard. She's at 5'6". And then Samari Stevenson, she is at 5'10", a senior forward. She's the one that just committed to Southwestern Illinois College and will be signing later on this spring. And that's a look at your starting lineups. A couple of minutes away from tip here, but we want to let you know, too, about in this region, in Division I, Region 1, that all of these opening round playoff matchups are being played either this afternoon or tonight. So, for example, in this bracket, of course, the winner of Aledo and Colleyville Heritage will take on the winner of Joshua and Pascal. That game is being played at Pascal this evening. That's a 6 o'clock start. And then as for the other games in the top half of this bracket, they will look like this. El Paso Chapin and El Paso Bel Air also got going this evening. That'll be a 7:30 start Central Time, 6:30 Mountain Time out there in El Paso. Then Amarillo Tascosa takes on Abilene Cooper. That's a 7 o'clock start out over at Wolfworth Friendship High School. Now to the bottom half of the bracket, we'll have El Paso Americas versus El Paso Canutillo. That's a 6 o'clock start Central Time tonight. Now, they should have been underway. They probably are over. That's with Legacy High School and Amarillo High. They started at 3 o'clock this afternoon. They probably have finished their ball game. And then on the other side of that bracket, Denton Ryan will be taking on Granbury. That's a 6:30 start. That's going to be taking place over at Azle High School. And then Cleburne taking on Arlington Heights. That's a 7 o'clock tip-off down at Wilkerson Grinds Activity Center. So that's a look at the Region 1 matchups here. We'll take a timeout here. Starting lineups are about to be introduced here to the crowd that's gathering here at Eagle Mountain High School. Glad that you're with us on NTXVarsitySports.com, a production of the Worldwide Ranch. Back after this timeout.
Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go! Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go!
Plains Capital Bank is excited to cheer on the amazing Aledo Bearcats for another great season. At Plains Capital, they take care of all your banking needs with exceptional service that makes you feel like an MVP. Get Plains Capital Bank on your team. Visit their branch at the shops at Willow Park, Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go Bearcats! Take state! Plains Capital Bank. Member FDIC.
For over 10 years, home builders and remodelers have trusted Oakline Floors for all their flooring needs. Whether you're a home builder needing full house design selections or a homeowner needing a fresh update, Oakline's experienced designers will guide you through the design process with your design requirements and project budget in mind. They have the largest flooring design center in Parker County. Visit oaklinefloors.net. Oakline Floors supports the Aledo Bearcats. Go Bearcats!
Hello, this is Pastor Clark Bozier. I am the pastor of the Willow Park Baptist Church, which is located at 777 Crown Point Boulevard in Willow Park, Texas. Willow Park Baptist Church is a proud sponsor of Aledo High School. I'd like to take this opportunity to personally invite you and your family to attend one of our Sunday morning services at 8:30 or 10, and again that evening at 5 p.m. For more information, visit our website, willowparkbaptist.org. Willow Park Baptist Church. We are a church on an eternal mission. Go Bearcats.
This is Steely Bryce. I'm here to tell you about Platinum Collision. We are a premier full-service repair center. We are locally owned and operated, and we provide advanced yet affordable collision repair solutions to get you back on the road in no time. At Platinum Collision, our goal is to make it seem like your car never needed to visit a collision center in the first place. Check us out. Visit platinum-collision.com. That's platinum-collision.com. Platinum Collision, your full-service repair center.
Texas drivers, it's time to move up to Mazda at Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Get a 2025 Mazda CX-5 Turbo with 0.9% APR or lease for just $259 a month. Or go electrified with the 2026 Mazda CX-70 FEB with 0.9% APR or lease from $299 a month. Plus $750 Mazda loyalty or $500 military appreciation. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth and HileyMazdaofFortWorth.com.
Final strains of the national anthem played here at Eagle Mountain High School, just moments away from the start of this ball game. Again, we want to tell you that the Lady Cats are the visitors in this ball game. They are in their black uniforms. They're all black jerseys, black shorts. They are outlined in orange, and of course the orange numerals. For Colleyville Heritage, their color scheme is a dark red and black. They are in white jerseys, white shorts, kind of a design on the short legs of them, and then a black numbers outlined in red, and that's the way they look. Again, starting lineup for the Lady Cats is going to be Kate Jackson, Elizabeth Griffin, Brooklyn Dempsey, Brenna Clock, and Tiara Butler. And for Colleyville Heritage, Landon Blewett, Chloe Holt, Elle Gardner, Zadie Munoz, and Samari Stevenson. Should be a great ball game here. Again, this is a chance for the Lady Cats to see if they can impose their defensive will here against the Lady Panthers, who really want to slow it down. This is a team in the Lady Panthers that averaged a little more than 36 points per game. As for as for Aledo, they averaged well over 50 points a game. So it kind of tells you we got some contrasting styles here. Some patience here on the offensive end for Aledo as we will start this ball game. They are going through the introductions of the starting lineups here, and while we have a moment, let's tell you that Elizabeth Griffin, we told you about her production. She's averaging 11.7 points per game. She's shooting 35% from the three-point line, 41.5% on her twos. So a really good start for her. Now, as far as Brooklyn Dempsey is concerned, she's shooting 36% from her two-pointers. She's shooting 73% at the line. So a really good job there on the offensive side for Brooklyn Dempsey. And then for Tiara Butler, averaging 6.5 rebounds a game to go along with her 12.8 points per game. She is shooting 43% from two-point range. Better yet, 75.5% at the foul line. So there are some good numbers there as far as the Lady Cats are concerned. The winner of this game will move on to Thursday evening against either Pascal or Joshua. The Lady Owls are having an outstanding season at 33-4. We have three officials in this ball game for you. They're going to be out of the Fort Worth chapter here working this ball game this evening here at Eagle Mountain. Glad that you're with us. Again, spread the word here on NTX Varsity Sports. We are about to get this one underway between the Lady Cats and the Lady Panthers. Jumping center will be Kate Jackson for Aledo and Samari Stevenson for Colleyville Heritage. About to get this going, and playoff basketball is underway. Lady Cats control the tip. It'll be Liz Griffin working the offense between the circles, tries to work off a Brenna Clock screen. Now she'll get it over to the right side to Brooklyn Dempsey. He will drive the baseline, gets pushed out. She will be to Kate Jackson at the top. Now to Liz Griffin, thinks about a three. She's picked up. Now we'll have to put it on the floor. Gets it off to Brooklyn Dempsey, wants to dump it outside to Liz Griffin, to Tiara Butler. Butler back outside to Griffin, who drives the left wing, gets it off to Brenna Clock, who will feed the middle to Tiara Butler. Now it'll be Kate Jackson at the top, feeds it to Tiara Butler, to Dempsey on the right wing on the baseline. She'll take a jumper, that's blocked, gets it back. Now she'll reset the offense. Gets it inside to Butler, who tries to take a hook shot, but she gets fouled on the shot attempt. The foul coming against Samari Stevenson of Colleyville Heritage. She's the most dangerous player for this Colleyville Heritage team. First pickup foul on her. And it'll be the first team foul. Correction, they're going to change that foul to Chloe Holt First free throw for Tiara Butler is good, and the Lady Cats have the first points of this ball game here. 7:17 to play here in the first quarter. Butler at the line. Couple dribbles, right-hander knocks it down, and it is a 2-0 lead for the Lady Cats. Here comes the full court press for the Lady Cats. They will try it. They will work out of that. The pass is deflected right to me, and I'll get it back. And so, but it was knocked out of bounds right to off of Aledo, and so Colleyville Heritage will retain possession. So that's the first one of the year. Brooklyn on the defense, on the offensive end, Elle Gardner with it. She'll get it off to Landon Blewett. She'll drive. She'll get it off to Stevenson, who drives. Layup is too hard off the glass. Rebound comes to Brenna Clock for Aledo. Here come the Lady Cats. It's going to be Liz Griffin. She'll get it off to Kate Jackson. Takes a shot, gets it blocked. She'll fight for the loose ball, but coming away with it for Colleyville Heritage is Chloe Holt. Here come the Lady Panthers as Elle Gardner will drive it. Pass gets deflected, but is saved by Zadie Munoz. She'll get it back over to Chloe Holt between the circles to Elle Gardner on the right wing. Tries to dump it into Samari Stevenson, but it's off her hands, and it goes out of bounds, and so Aledo will get the ball back. So a turnover going against the Lady Panthers here in the early go. 2-0 Lady Cats lead. We're 90 seconds into this one as Aledo is on the offensive end. Brooklyn Dempsey on the right side gets it to Elizabeth Griffin to Tiara Butler, whose shot is no good. But the putback is no good by Brenna Clock. But the loose ball comes down to Brooklyn Dempsey, who will feed it out to the left side. Kate Jackson from the left wing, no good. On a baseline jumper, Samari Stevenson comes out of there for Colleyville Heritage. All the way picked up, and then there's a fight on the floor, and we got a held ball as Stevenson flipped. But a great job, though, by Butler to tie her up. And so the held ball situation will favor Colleyville Heritage because Aledo won the tap. Heritage to inbound underneath its own Jackson, under its own basket rather. Drive to the basket short is no good by Chloe Holt, and Aledo comes out of there. Here comes Liz Griffin the other way with the right-handed dribble. Goes against, now picks up the dribble, throws it to the left side to Kate Jackson between the two circles. Brooklyn Dempsey on the left side. She'll look to the right-handed dribble, gets it to Kate Jackson on the right side. A three right on the baseline for Liz Griffin is in and out, no good. And the rebound comes to Samari Stevenson of Colleyville Heritage. Still 2-0 lead for the Lady Cats here, 2.5 minutes into our first quarter. Tiara Butler with the defense. She goes against Zadie Munoz on that. Stevenson at the top. Now she'll get it off to Gardner on the right side. She gets her pocket picked by Brooklyn Dempsey all the way down, being chased by two defenders, and Liz Griffin will lay it up, or excuse me, Brooklyn Dempsey will lay it up and in, and it's a 4-0 lead for the Lady Cats. Good anticipation there by Liz Griffin. She hounds Elle Gardner again, but Gardner is able to get it away. Gets it off to Chloe Holt. A shot from the right side is too strong, and it's going to be picked up by Butler, and she'll feed it to Dempsey, who will push it the other way down the side of the floor. Now she goes into the middle, feeds. Now inside to Kate Jackson, gets it blocked, and it gets knocked out of there and saved by Colleyville Heritage. Good defense there by Landon Blewett. She comes up with the ball, and now Colleyville Heritage will want to slow it down here. 4:40 to play in our first quarter. Aledo with a 4-0 lead. Samari Stevenson with the dribble. Now she gets out to the right wing. Foul line extended for Elle Gardner. Dumps it inside, but the pass is knocked out of bounds. Good defense there by Brenna Clock as she forces the reset on the offensive side. A couple of substitutions coming in now for Colleyville Heritage. One of those is going to be Lily Livingston. She is a 5'9" senior forward. She takes the inbounds pass, but her pass is too far, and it's picked off by Brooklyn Dempsey of the Lady Cats. Quickly down the middle of the floor. She's being hounded, and she will get fouled by Chloe Holt, who was on her hip pocket, but a little bit too close on that. I beg your pardon, that's Landon Blewett who picked up that foul. Beg your pardon on that. So her first team foul, second team foul against the Lady Panthers. And a three left from Liz Griffin is good with 4:14 to go, makes it 7-0 Aledo, and Colleyville Heritage will take the quick timeout, which gives us the opportunity to tell you that Aledo Lady Cats Basketball is brought to you by H5 Sports Barn. H5 Sports Barn and Knife Physio and Performance can help unlock your athletic potential and elevate your game like the Aledo Bearcats. With expert sports physical therapy, tailored recovery plans, and top-notch sports performance training, H5 Sports Barn, proud supporters players of the Aledo Bearcats. So a 30-second timeout called by Courtney Lee, the Colleyville Heritage head coach, and really to this point the Aledo defense has been suffocating. A couple of shots, but not really high percentage looks for the Lady Panthers in the early go of this game. And so Aledo has built a 7-0 lead with 4:14 to play here in our first quarter. Pass comes in to Landon Blewett. Now she hands it back to Munoz. Pass in the middle to Samari Stevenson, who gets fouled by Kate Jackson as she was trying to come down with the ball right inside the three-point line. So it's just a baseline foul against the Lady Cats. Kate Jackson picks up her first. That's the first team foul against Aledo. 2 team fouls against Colleyville Heritage. They got the fouls wrong here on the scoreboard. Harassing defense once again by Dempsey, but then she backs off. Stevenson will hold it with the left-handed dribble, tries to feed it in, but the pass gets deflected, but saved by Reagan Urian for Colleyville Heritage, who was also one of the other substitutions who came in. Gets it to Samari Stevenson, who drives, kicks it out. A 18-footer on the way is off the back of the iron. No good, but coming away with the rebound is Zadie Munoz for Heritage. She'll get it over to Urian, who will now get it between the circles, picked up by Liz Griffin, trying to get off a screen from Stevenson. The pass to Stevenson gets deflected, but Heritage gets it back. A 3 is too long. Loose ball on the floor. Fight for it. Stevenson has it for Heritage. She still is able to kick it out. She dumps it out to a teammate. Shot from the top of the arc is no good by Urian. She misses it, and then she throws it away, does Urian, and Tiara Butler comes away with it for Aledo. She drives it into the front court. Now she holds it up on the right side, gets it to the top. Now Griffin, a 3 left on the way. It's good. And it's a 10-0 lead for the Lady Cats here inside of 3 minutes to play here in our first quarter. Steal by Butler. She'll feed it off to Dempsey. Has a teammate to feed it to. She gets it off to Griffin. It's too hard off the back of the glass. No good. But Butler is there to clean it up and score. Butler was there, and her shot attempt hung on the top of the rim, got the friendly bounce, and then curled inside the net for the basket here. 12-0 lead for the Lady Cats. Full court press. Colleyville Heritage is able to beat it. Austin Connect has it in between the circles. Here, 2.5 minutes to play here, second quarter. A 12-0 lead for Aledo. Stevenson, turnaround jumper from 16, is off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound comes to Aledo's Brenna Clock. Here come the Lady Cats the other way. Dempsey on the left wing, right in front of the bench. She'll feed it off to Griffin, who takes a 3 from the left baseline. That's good again. Make it 3 threes for Liz Griffin, and it's 15-0 in favor of the Lady Cats. Looking good so far. Stevenson will drive. She'll take a jumper from the foul line, and the left-hander knocks it down for Colleyville Heritage's first points at 1:45 to play. 15-12, Aledo with the lead. Griffin in between the circles. Now she'll hand it off to the right to Kate Jackson. Back to Griffin on the right wing. She'll dump it in to Brenna Clock, to Kate Jackson. Now to Liz Griffin. Wants a 3 from the right side. That's too strong. The rebound comes to Butler. She goes up double-teamed, and she is fouled. So Tiara Butler on the offensive putback got fouled trying to go back up. She'll be back at the line. Butler had the first 2 points for the Lady Cats to start this game. Both of those free throws, these coming with 1:26 to play here in the first quarter. Butler with 4 points already. First free throw, good. Now it's 16-2. Couple of substitutions for the Lady Cats coming in is Jaylee Owens, the senior guard. And then also coming in is Kennedy Cardenas, the junior guard at 5'7". Second free throw for Butler on the way. That is good as well. She's now up to 6 points, and it is a 17-2 lead in favor of the Lady Cats. Full court press once again by Aledo. They will get it across. Finally, does Colleyville Heritage. Elle Gardner has it. She's picked up by Liz Griffin. Deep pass comes to Stevenson on the right wing. She handles the ball a lot for this team. Her jumper from the foul line is no good. We got a foul on the floor. Looks like it was over the back, maybe on Kate Jackson. We'll take a look at here and see what the call is. It's on the floor, and it looks like it will be against. They haven't nestled up the foul yet, Bill, but I think it's on Kate Jackson here. Heritage with the ball, driving on the baseline, and the shot off the iron, no good. It was off the hands of Austin Connect, and Aledo comes away with it. Here comes Liz Griffin, fires the pass down the court, but Kate Jackson was not turned around as the pass went down to her. Also in that area was Kennedy Cardenas, but neither of them saw the ball, and so the Lady Cats turn it over here with 54.7 seconds to play in this first quarter. So it'll be Colleyville Heritage basketball. Again, another full court press for the Lady Cats here against the Lady Panthers. Get the ball across, and they do barely. Pass over the top is taken. Gardner's got it on a three right. That's too strong. It's an air ball, and here come the Lady Cats. Kate Jackson with it. Fires it down the court for Tiara Butler. She'll pass it back out. Well, now she's still looking for someone to pass it out to. She does now. And it'll be Liz Griffin driving the paint. She'll fire it out on the right wing. Jumper is good for Tiara Butler. That's a three-pointer. It's 20-2, and Butler with her first three-pointer of the day. The Lady Cats now with 4, and Butler up to 9 points. We're down to 10 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Pass in the backcourt is tipped. They got to get it across, so they're going to get hit with a 10-second call. They do. 5. Passes intercepted by Tiara Butler on the pass in the inside of the court. Here come the Lady Cats, and the clock will run out. Well, that was a pretty good first quarter for the Lady Cats. They have gotten off to a little bit of a slow start, but now they are rolling, leading 20-2 over Colleyville Heritage. Back with the second quarter after this, and you're listening to Lady Cats basketball on NTX Varsity Sports.com.
Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go! Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go!
Plains Capital Bank is excited to cheer on the amazing Aledo Bearcats for another great season. At Plains Capital, they take care of all your banking needs with exceptional service that makes you feel like an MVP. Get Plains Capital Bank on your team. Visit their branch at the shops at Willow Park, Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go Bearcats! Take state! Plains Capital Bank. Member FDIC.
Texas drivers, it's time to move up to Mazda at Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Get a 2025 Mazda CX-5 Turbo with 0.9% APR or lease for just $259 a month. Or go electrified with the 2026 Mazda CX-70 FEV with 0.9% APR or lease from $299 a month. Plus $750 Mazda loyalty or $500 military appreciation. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth and HileyMazdaofFortWorth.com.
Kevin Longquist back here at Eagle Mountain, about to start the second quarter here. Lady Cats leading by a score of 20-2, and they have the ball to open this quarter here, trying to build on an 18-point lead. Dempsey on the right baseline will drive. Now she holds up her dribble. She'll get it off to Kate Jackson. Left-handed dribble back to Dempsey on the right baseline, outside the three-point line here. Now she's picked up by Elle Gardner of Colleyville Heritage. She'll throw it out to the left. Pass is caught by Kennedy Cardenas. Now to Kate Jackson. Jumper from the foul line is good, and Kate Jackson has her first basket of the night, and it's 22-2 in favor of the Lady Cats. Here come the Lady Panthers the other way. Chloe Holt on the drive, and she gets fouled on the way, and I think Kate Jackson got her on that personal. So it'll be a foul against the Lady Cats here. Remember, we start over with fouls here on every quarter. Pass into Samari Stevenson. The left-hander tries to drive in the paint. She gets it stripped and knocked away. We got a scrum for the ball. I think we're going to get a held ball, and that's exactly what it is. And because Aledo had the ball to start the second quarter, the possession arrow favors Colleyville Heritage. A substitution for the Lady Cats here as Sarah Edwards will check in. Kate Jackson will sit down. Pass comes into Elle Gardner between the circles. She's picked up by Brooklyn Dempsey right in front of the Aledo bench, trying to work off a screen. Now Gardner picks up the dribble. She's being harassed by Griffin. She's able to get it off. Over to Chloe Holt. Now back to Gardner between the circles. Griffin not giving her an inch, and she picks off the pass. Great job by Dempsey. She gets it to Butler, drives the baseline, backs it out. Now she's double teamed on the baseline. She throws it out, but saved there by one of the Lady Cats in the corner as Cardenas coming out of it. Now a three on the right side. Good for Brooklyn Dempsey. And it's now 25-2, and the Lady Cats are in control of this one. Great defense there, but a foul on Brooklyn Dempsey as she was pushing Gardner in front of the Colleyville Heritage bench. Got her a little bit too much. And so that foul comes in against the Lady Cats there. But again, a great start for the Lady Cats. They have about 5 3-pointers in this game. We hope to have their stats for you at the half of this ball game. Couple of substitutions for the Lady Cats about to check in on the next dead ball. Drive and scoring for Colleyville Heritage is Reagan Urian. Nice move to the basket by her, and she throws it up and in. So 25-4 is the Aledo lead with 6:10 to play here in our second quarter. Edwards with the ball on the right baseline, being harassed, tries to get rid of it. She does get it off to Cardenas on the baseline as well. She gets it to Butler, whose shot from about 12 is no good. And the rebound comes to Colleyville Heritage's Chloe Holt, but the foul on the floor against Aledo. So Colleyville Heritage will inbound. Liz Griffin and Brenna Clock will check in for the Lady Cats here, as both Cardenas and Jaylee Owens will sit. So nearly the original 5. Kate Jackson still sitting on the floor. Steal by Brooklyn Dempsey, and she couldn't control the pass. She read it well, but she couldn't bring it in, and so it goes out of bounds. I always kid Brooklyn when she's on the Aledo Coaches Show podcast that she's the more talented of the Dempseys. And her brother Carson Dempsey, who, as you know, the defensive end who signed with the University of Tulsa, kind of grimaces when I say that, but he takes it in good stride. Driving all the way and getting it stolen was Samari Stevenson. Coming out of there was Tiara Butler. She gets it to Sarah Edwards. Now to Liz Griffin, who will get the offense going. She'll fire it off to Edwards, who will take a 3 from the right side. That's off the iron, no good. Fight for the loose rebound, taken by Liz Griffin. Jumper from about 10 is no good, but the Lady Cats are able to come away with the third offensive rebound. However, but it's taken away by Colleyville Heritage, but Edwards is able to knock it out of bounds, coming from behind from Reagan Urian, and they're going to say it's off of Urian's hand. She throws up her hands in disbelief, but they're going to say Aledo ball. Heck of a play there by Sarah Edwards to knock that away. She didn't give up on the play, and so the Bearcats get another, the Lady Cats rather, get another possession out of it. Dempsey to the right wing to Edwards in the baseline, to Clock, to Butler, to Dempsey at the top between the circles. Now she'll back it out and reset the offense. Now to Griffin on the left wing, foul line extended. She'll get it off in the corner. Back to Griffin. She'll take a 3. She's made a couple from that spot. Not this time. Ball comes out of there. Here come the Lady Panthers. Urian all the way in. She throws it up to Kylie Brooks, but she is underneath the basket too hard. Her shot is no good because it hit the bottom of the iron. Heritage comes out of there with a couple of offensive rebounds, and they finally score this time as Chloe Holt puts it in off the backboard and good, and it's 25-6 in favor of Aledo here. 4.5 minutes to play in this second quarter. Griffin with the ball. Now she'll move on the left side. Gets it over to the corner to Edwards. Baseline to Tara Butler. Left all alone. Beats the defense. Scores easily, and it's 27-6. Butler is in to double figures. Full court press once again by the Lady Cats. Kylie Brooks has it. Now gets it off. Passes over to Austin Connect, who throws it away on the baseline as she was trying to feed a trailing teammate, but too high and out of bounds, and a turnover against the Lady Panthers. And the Lady Cats will take possession. They will start it in front of their own bench. Dempsey and Griffin play catch. Griffin with the ball. Now she'll feed it off to Dempsey, who wasn't looking for it, and it goes off her hands out of bounds. So an unfortunate turnover against the Lady Cats, just an unforced one on that one. We are under 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Aledo leads 27-6 on NTXVarsitySports.com. I'm Kevin Lonnquist, voice of the Bearcats. You might have heard my voice a time or two for the Bearcat football program. Now we're doing it with basketball. We will be doing the boys next week. Colleyville Heritage on this jumper on the right side is taken by Zadie Munoz. She misses, and the Lady Cats come out of there with it. Tiara Butler hands it off to Liz Griffin, who comes down, jogging it down the floor. She's picked up immediately by Landon Blewett for Colleyville Heritage. Now to Dempsey. Now a pass comes inside to Butler, off the iron, no good, but she gets her own offensive rebound. She gets it blocked out of there, but Brenna Clock comes out of there for the Lady Cats. Over to Clock. She'll take a jumper from the baseline. That's off the back of the rim, or I should say the side of the backboard, no good. And Colleyville Heritage will come out of there with it. Slow walk up the floor as Reagan Urian will take it across between the circles for the Lady Panthers. They are under the direction of Courtney Lee in her 4th season. They'll take a 3 from the right side. That is way long there from Chloe Holt. Loose ball comes to Brooklyn Dempsey of Aledo. Now she'll hand it off to Liz Griffin. Behind the back dribble, she'll get it back to Dempsey on the left side in front of the Heritage bench. Pass comes into Brenna Clark, and she gets fouled as she was trying to get it over on the baseline to Tiara Butler, but the foul will come against Heritage. And substitutions coming in for the Lady Cats as Jaylee Owens will check back in, and Kate Jackson returns for the Lady Cats. And looks like we got a timeout here. So we'll take the timeout here as we will tell you that Aledo Lady Cats basketball is brought to you by Hiley Mazda. Head to Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth today. Their new state-of-the-art facility is conveniently located just off of I-30, exit Las Vegas Trail, and experience top-notch service and hassle-free buying. Don't forget to ask about this month's special offers. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, family-owned and operated for over 30 years. Want to take this time out, too, to remind you that we will have the Aledo Coaches Show podcast at Parker County Brewing Company this Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock start. And, of course, if the Lady Cats take care of business, which they are doing so far, then we will be talking to Donnie Ott and one of the players for the Lady Cats as they will be preparing for what we hope will be their area playoff game against either Pascal or Joshua. And, of course, Drew Baker, the head boys coach, and one of his players will join us as well. Boys do not play this week. They actually have their bye this week because they finished the season last week, but they are also district champions. Coming out of the timeout, Lady Cats have it. This is Kate Jackson on the left baseline. She'll get it to Brooklyn Dempsey in front of the Colleyville Heritage bench. Now she'll try to reset to Jaylee Owens at the top between the circles. Back to Dempsey on the left wing. And she'll take a look, and she'll get it over to Liz Griffin, who hands it to Tiara Butler, to Jaylee Owens, who drives on the right baseline, gets it deflected, but Butler saves it. Back to Owens, who will take a three from the right baseline. Good. How about that for Jaylee Owens? The senior guard knocks it down. 6 3-pointers, I believe, for the Lady Cats. They lead 30-6, coming down on 2 minutes to play here in our second quarter. Colleyville Heritage the other way. Chloe Holt with it. Now she'll give it off to Urin, who drives. She's cut off, has to back it out. Elle Gardner, the point guard, now in trouble. Gets it off to Urin. Gets it off to Samari Stevenson, who drives the right baseline. Hands it off. A three from the right side is too strong for Zadie Munoz. Gardner comes out of it, though, for Heritage. Gets it off to Urin, who gets it stripped. It's Liz Griffin with it the other way, but she doesn't have numbers. She'll hold it up. Now she tries to reset the offense to Dempsey on the right wing. Foul line extended. Back to the back pass to Griffin. Wide open three at the top. It's off the iron, no good, and the rebound comes to Heritage. Here comes Chloe Holt for the Lady Panthers here in a 30-6 lead for the Lady Cats here. 1:15 to play in our second quarter. Urin with it, fires it over to Gardner on the left wing. Foul line extended, picked up by Dempsey. A three coming from the top from Zadie Munoz. That's good. First three of the night for the Lady Panthers. It's now 30-9 as we are under a minute to play here in our first half. Dempsey the other way to Griffin on the right baseline to Butler. Dempsey thinks about a three on the right wing. She'll get it to Griffin for a three right. That rims off. And the rebound comes to Stevenson for Heritage. Here come the Lady Panthers the other way, trying to get into double figures and try and cut into this 21-point deficit. Urin drives. She's fouled on the drive, and she will go to the free throw line, shooting 2. Free throws will be coming. The foul will be going against Aledo's Tiara Butler, her first personal, I believe, at the 34.8-second mark here of this second quarter. First free throw for Urin is no good. Reagan Urin is a 5'6" freshman. She's a guard. She's looked pretty good handling the ball. Has a basket for Heritage. Second free throw on the way. That's in and out, no good. So Aledo comes out of it. They can hold for the last shot if they so choose. Butler the other way, and unfortunately she throws it off the hands of Kate Jackson out of bounds. And so there will be no last possession for Aledo at this point, as Colleyville Heritage will walk it across here as we get to the 25-second mark of the second quarter. Urin with the ball. She's picked up by Liz Griffin. Tries to work off a Stevenson screen, does Griffin. Urin between the circles. Game clock now at 13. Now at 10. Still a holding dribble. Screen at the top by Connect. Urin drops it, hands it off to Stevenson, down to 5. Down to 4. Stevenson has to put it up here at the buzzer, and it is no good, and that's the way the first half comes to a close. Strong first quarter for the Lady Cats. It got a little bit choppy there in the second quarter, but they have command of this area playoff game here at Eagle Mountain High School. They lead by a score of 30-9. Back with our halftime activities after this. You're listening to Aledo Lady Cats basketball on 92 point, I should say, NTX Varsity Sports.com. Old habits die hard. NTX Varsity Sports.com, a production of the Worldwide Ranch.
Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go! Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go!
Plains Capital Bank is excited to cheer on the amazing Aledo Bearcats for another great season. At Plains Capital, they take care of all your banking needs with exceptional service that makes you feel like an MVP. Get Plains Capital Bank on your team. Visit their branch at the shops at Willow Park, Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go Bearcats! Take state! Plains Capital Bank. Member FDIC.
Texas drivers, it's time to move up to Mazda at Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Get a 2025 Mazda CX-5 Turbo with 0.9% APR or lease for just $259 a month. Or go electrified with the 2026 Mazda CX-70 FEV with 0.9% APR or lease from $299 a month. Plus $750 Mazda loyalty or $500 military appreciation. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth and HileyMazdaofFortWorth.com.
For over 10 years, home builders and remodelers have trusted Oakline Floors for all their flooring needs. Whether you're a home builder needing full house design selections or a homeowner needing a fresh update, Oakline's experienced designers will guide you through the design process with your design requirements and project budget in mind. They have the largest flooring design center in Parker County. Visit oaklinefloors.net. Oakline Floors supports the Aledo Bearcats. Go Bearcats!
This is Steely Bryce. I'm here to tell you about Platinum Collision. We are a premier full-service repair center. We are locally owned and operated, and we provide advanced yet affordable collision repair solutions to get you back on the road in no time. At Platinum Collision, our goal is to make it seem like your car never needed to visit a collision center in the first place. Check us out. Visit platinum-collision.com. That's platinum-collision.com. Platinum Collision, your full-service repair center.
Back here at Eagle Mountain High School in this Class 5A Division I, Region I opening round playoff game, the Aledo Lady Cats in command here, leading Colleyville Heritage by a score of 30-9. We have a couple of notable stats for you as far as the Lady Cats are concerned. Tiara Butler leads the way with 11 points. She also has 7 rebounds and 4 steals, so a great start for Tiara. Liz Griffin with 9 points, all of those from the three-point line. She's 3 out of 5 from three-point range. This team also has 6 steals overall, so 4 of those coming from Tiara Butler. And here's what's been impressive about the full-court press. Colleyville Heritage has 10 total turnovers, but 6 of those have been created because of the Aledo defense with the steals. And now this Lady Cat offensive team has 7 offensive rebounds of their 15 total rebounds. So a great performance so far for the Lady Cats. Again, we want to remind you that all of these games are going to be carried on NTXVarsitySports.com. If this lead holds for the Lady Cats, all signs point to them on Thursday. Don't have a time yet on that. The other game, they're going to face the winner of Pascal and Joshua. Joshua heavily favored to win that game, even though it was being played at Pascal. I believe Joshua and Pascal had played each other a couple times earlier in the season. Joshua won by huge amounts, so it looks like it's going to be over in Joshua. But we do know that if it is Aledo and Joshua, that it would be over in Godley this coming Thursday. We just don't have a time for that yet. Joshua having a phenomenal season at 33-4. They actually finished in a tie in District 8-5A with Mansfield Summit with 11-3 records. That district champion was Cleburne, which went undefeated in that district in 8-5A at 14-0. So the Lady Cats with a 30-9 advantage here at the half. Beautiful facility here at Eagle Mountain. As I bring in Parker Burrows here, first time for me to be here, first time for you to be here, first time for Aledo to be here. And I think the only thing about this for the Lady Cats is if you look at the goal on the north side, because this is a north-south gym, it's a little bit deceptive because you have glass, you have windows right behind the basket
behind
there.
It, yeah,
windows behind that basket there. Didn't point that out until now. So it can be a little bit of a depth perception.
Depth harder,
yeah, it does. But it hasn't affected Liz Griffin, who's knocked down 3 of them. She's off to a great start. But this is what this Aledo offensive attack leans on, are both Butler and Griffin to do, if you will, the lion's share of the work from a scoring standpoint. They average roughly between 25 points between them. They have 20 points combined tonight so far.
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. And we've talked before about, score takers and playmakers and what it takes. And we're seeing a lot of both score makers and playmakers tonight.
Yeah, you can just see that they are very comfortable running their offense here in terms of what they want to do. They set it up. They've gotten a lot of great looks from the three-point line. Even Brooklyn Dempsey had a great look from the right side on her three-pointer. So the Lady Cats have done a great job of being efficient. Tiara Butler, I think one of the things that's impressive about her, if you haven't really watched her as an Aledo fan but know of her, is her prowess around the backboards. Again, she has 7 rebounds already. She has a couple of situations where offensive rebounds have led to 4 points because she's gotten fouled on putbacks, so she's gotten 4 points that way.
Well, and she's fast, Kevin. She'll play great defense, get the ball, and run it down court for those opportunities.
Lady Cats are looking to try and get to 25-7 and win their 11th straight game before they move on tonight here again at halftime. We're down to about 3 minutes and 50 seconds before the teams come back out. And we should point out, too, Aledo was shooting against those glass windows on the north side. And Aledo has the bench that's on the south side, so this means they will have a better basket in front of them. They've got the wall and some padding behind them on the south side of this gym. But, again, really nice looking.
So you're saying we should see an even better shot percentage?
Well, you would think, based on the way they're shooting it here. But the Lady Cats have done a great job. They got out to a great start. Obviously, and so they jumped out 7-0 quickly, got out 10-0 quickly here when it became 7-0 early. Heritage coach Courtney Lee immediately called a timeout because she didn't want to see any more of it, and just didn't get any better from there. It's just this press really giving the Heritage guards a lot of problems trying to handle the basketball and get the ball across half court.
Yeah, that full court press is no joke from Aledo. They're struggling to get it across court at sometimes, really getting at risk of that 10-second penalty.
Yeah, they haven't been called for a 10-second violation yet, but it's been a challenge to just get the ball.
Close.
It's been close on a couple of occasions, and we also got the benefit of returning the ball to one of the officials here on one of the early parts of the game. So
we've been to a couple basketball games this year, and that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, we hope that you're with us again. If you're just joining us here on NTX Varsity Sports.com, the first time that 92.1 Hank FM, which is the flagship station for Aledo Bearcats football, we just got this agreement put together with Aledo ISD within the last couple of weeks. We're able to get both the boys and girls basketball playoff games on the air. Of course, the girls starting tonight. The boys will start next week. And then obviously we'll talk more about softball and baseball when those seasons get deeper into those seasons. When they get into the playoffs, of course, those playoffs will start in late April and, of course, May pretty much for baseball. So, again, something to think about there, but you were going to touch on that.
And talk about a historic season. Like both boys and girls being district champions for the first time in Aledo in the same season.
Yeah, and the amazing thing about this basketball program, at least as far as the boys are concerned, had never won a district championship until last year, and then they go back-to-back. But even more impressive about these two programs winning district titles in the same year is the fact that each program went undefeated, went 12-0 in district play, which is not something you see quite a bit. Now, you and I got to see that a little bit when we were doing the Paradise games.
Their regular season.
Their regular season games. Now, the Paradise boys have one more game to play on Tuesday before their regular season is over. The girls went undefeated. The boys should go undefeated.
One game away.
So I think we're living a pretty charmed life right now. We'll take a timeout here. Aledo and Colleyville Heritage about to start the third quarter. You're listening to Aledo Lady Cats basketball on NTX Varsity Sports, a production of the Worldwide Ranch.
Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go! Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go!
Plains Capital Bank is excited to cheer on the amazing Aledo Bearcats for another great season. At Plains Capital, they take care of all your banking needs with exceptional service that makes you feel like an MVP. Get Plains Capital Bank on your team. Visit their branch at the shops at Willow Park, Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go Bearcats! Take state! Plains Capital Bank. Member FDIC.
Texas drivers, it's time to move up to Mazda at Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Get a 2025 Mazda CX-5 Turbo with 0.9% APR or lease for just $259 a month. Or go electrified with the 2026 Mazda CX-70 FEV with 0.9% APR or lease from $299 a month. Plus $750 Mazda loyalty or $500 military appreciation. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth and HileyMazdaofFortWorth.com.
Start the third quarter. Aledo will come with the basketball. Liz Griffin will have it off to Tiara Butler. Dumps it inside to Brenda Clock. Loose ball goes out of bounds, and so Aledo will turn it over here on the opening possession of the third quarter. Happy that you're with us here on NTXVarsitySports.com. Lady Cats will go to their full court press, led by Liz Griffin. Pass comes down the floor to the left side. And taking it over for Colleyville Heritage is Chloe Holt. Now she gets it off in between the circles to Reagan Urian. She'll get it off to the left side over to Zadie Munoz. Samari Stevenson on the left wing, foul line extended. Great defense there by Kate Jackson, and she knocks it away from Munoz, who has to knock it away, but then Samari Stevenson chases it down for Heritage. Left-handed dribble, gets it tapped out of there, but saved by Munoz. With the ball for Heritage is Chloe Holt. Shot is good from Holt, and it's a three, and it's 30-12 in favor of the Lady Cats, and so the start Heritage wanted as far as they're concerned. Here come the Lady Cats the other way. Kate Jackson in front of the Aledo bench. She'll get it off to Brenda Clock between the circles to Brooklyn Dempsey. Left wing, foul line extended to Tiara Butler at the top. Entry pass a little bit too wide of Brenda Clock, and it goes out of bounds. So the Lady Cats, unfortunately, with back-to-back turnovers to start the third quarter, but they will go back to the press once again, and it's stolen by Tiara Butler. Feeds the pass. Brooklyn Dempsey drives. Right wing, three from the right for Liz Griffin. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound comes down to Colleyville Heritage's Landon Blewett, but Brooklyn Dempsey is with her, and she creates a tie ball situation, but the arrow will favor Colleyville Heritage, so the Lady Panthers will inbound it. Full court press once again. Coming up with it up the middle of the floor is Zadie Munoz. She'll get it to Urian up the middle. She'll drive, fires it off to the right side. A three from the right wing is short, but the rebound comes on the floor to Blewett, who missed it. She drives all the way up. Her layup won't go. We have another tie ball situation coming with Kate Jackson and Chloe Holt, and this time the arrow favors the Lady Cats, and so they will have the basketball here. Lady Cats have not scored to start this third quarter, so they're trying to get their offense going. Slow start for them, leading by a score of 30-11. They changed that 3 to a 2. Pass is stolen away by Colleyville Heritage as Zadie Munoz. She'll drive, and it'll roll all the way around the rim and in. That did the equator motion for about 4 times before it went in, and now Donnie Ott will call a timeout. So his team takes a timeout here. Didn't like the start his ladies are off to here, as Colleyville Heritage has scored the first 4 points of this game. This was at one point a 30-6 lead as we keep it here. This was a 30-6 lead in favor of the Lady Cats. Colleyville Heritage has scored the last 7 points. So Donnie Ott wants to try and get his team settled down here and kind of get them reset here, as that really was kind of a lazy pass that the Lady Cats had thrown, and Zadie Munoz picked that off and drove all the way down for the layup to make it a 30-13 lead. 5 minutes, 57 seconds to play here in our third quarter. Kevin Lonnquist courtside here, along with Parker Burrows, our new media director. The debut of Aledo Lady Cats basketball. And again, the boys will make their debut next week. Lady Cats coming out of this 30-second timeout. Message hopefully was received by the Lady Cats, who will bring it up across the floor. Liz Griffin with the left-handed dribble. She'll drive, working off a Butler screen. She'll go to the right side to Kate Jackson, holds it up. She's being harassed and losing it is Clock, and coming up with the loose ball is Chloe Holt for Heritage. She picks it up, which you can't do, and she gets whistled for a traveling violation. It was another turnover that the Heritage defense created. However, because of the fact that Holt tried to stand up with the basketball instead of staying on her knees and looking for a teammate, she turns it over. So the Lady Cats catch a break there, and so they will get the basketball underneath the Heritage basket here. Griffin brings it across the floor. Again, the Lady Cats have not scored here in the first 2.5 minutes of this third quarter. Throwing it away is Dempsey. She gets it picked off by Chloe Holt. Another turnover by the Lady Cats, and now a double dribble situation there for Holt. Her second consecutive turnover, and another break for the Lady Cats as they are trying to get their offense going here. A little more stringent defense by the Lady Panthers. They are pressuring the ball in. Should also mention here for Aledo that Jaylee Owens has checked in for this team. Tiara Butler takes the inbounds pass in between the circles, drives all the way in. Now she'll fire it off to Kate Jackson. Brooklyn Dempsey, a three right on the way is short. Loose ball comes back to Dempsey, though. She'll fire back off to Jackson, who will drive. Fake move, jumper from 16, off the back iron, no good. Ball is tapped out of bounds, and it will go off of Urian of Heritage, and Colleyville Heritage will retain possession. Aledo will retain possession there. Good defense there by Liz Griffin. And now we have another timeout here, a full timeout taken by Donnie Ott. 30-13, Aledo leads over Colleyville Heritage with 5:07 to play here in the third quarter. We'll take a timeout. Back after this.
Hello, this is Pastor Clark Bozier. I am the pastor of the Willow Park Baptist Church, which is located at 777 Crown Point Boulevard in Willow Park, Texas. Willow Park Baptist Church is a proud sponsor of Aledo High School. I'd like to take this opportunity to personally invite you and your family to attend one of our Sunday morning services at 8:30 or 10, and again that evening at 5 p.m. For more information, visit our website, willowparkbaptist.org. Willow Park Baptist Church. We are a church on an eternal mission. Go Bearcats.
For over 10 years, home builders and remodelers have trusted Oakline Floors for all their flooring needs. Whether you're a home builder needing full house design selections or a homeowner needing a fresh update, Oakline's experienced designers will guide you through the design process with your design requirements and project budget in mind. They have the largest flooring design center in Parker County. Visit oaklinefloors.net. Oakline Floors supports the Aledo Bearcats. Go Bearcats!
5 minutes, 7 seconds to play here, third quarter. Kevin Longquist courtside at Eagle Mountain High School. Aledo coming out of the timeout, and a great feed and layup to Tiara Butler on the inbounds pass. Great play drawn up by Donnie Ott, and the Lady Cats get their first points of the third quarter, leading 32-13. Back comes Heritage the other way. Their drive to the basket is no good, and the rebound fight for the loose ball, it goes off of L. Gardner of Heritage out of bounds, and so Aledo will retain possession of the basketball. Kennedy Cardenas, the junior guard, checks in for the Lady Cats. Jaylee Owens working in the backcourt as Brooklyn Dempsey sits for the Lady Cats. Griffin up the ball. She has 3 3-pointers in this game, but again, only 2 points for this team in this quarter. Butler with it. Griffin on the left wing, foul line extended. Bits it out to the top to Kate Jackson. Fakes, puts a drive on now to Butler. Left-handed drive to the basket, and it is too hard off the back iron. Rebound, put back is off the iron. No good from Kate Jackson, and we have a fight for the loose ball on the floor. It's going to be a held ball situation. It will favor Colleyville Heritage. Kate Jackson had that putback, but it just bounced all the way around the rim and did not go down. And so Colleyville Heritage will get the ball with 4:27 to play and a 19-point lead for Aledo. Full court press initiated by Owens. Gardner has the basketball, almost traveled with it, but she was able to get it over to Austin Connect. Gardner loses the pass back to her between the circles. She's picked up by Owens. Gardner with the left-handed dribble. At the top, she'll get it off to Holt. She's picked up by Cardenas at the top. Now to Gardner. Down to 4:05 to play here, third quarter. Landon blew it with the left-handed dribble. Now she picks it up. Now she'll drive on the right baseline, fires it off to Samari Stevenson, who lays it up and in. Good find, too, by Blewett as she found Stevenson streak into the basket. And the Lady Panthers have 6 points in this third quarter. They trail Aledo 32-9. Aledo comes the other way. Butler tries to work off a screen, drives into the paint, loses the basketball, gets it off to Jackson, who drives the right baseline, gets double teamed there. She'll hand it off to Griffin on the right wing, right side baseline. To Cardenas at the top. Left-handed dribble to Butler between the circles, back to Cardenas. But Griffin is streaking. She'll take the pass. She shoots a fadeaway jumper from 12. That's no good, but Butler with the rebound for Aledo. To Jackson now, to Owens. makes a move, takes a jumper from 18 and knocks it down. Swish for Jaylee Owens, her second basket of the game, and it's 34-19. So the Lady Cats coming up with some key baskets when they need it. Steal off the full court press from Aledo, but Colleyville Heritage gets it back. Blewett on the drive, off the iron, no good, but she gets fouled on the putback, on the on the shot. By the way, I should point out here that a really good turnout from the Aledo faithful to watch this game. They have the east stands here in this stadium, in this arena here. A couple hundred have made it out here, so again, hopefully they're listening to it, or they're telling people who they know who couldn't make it to come to this at ntxvarsitysports.com. Blewett's first free throw is no good. The foul for Aledo went against Tiara Butler. That's her second personal. One more free throw coming for Blewett in a 34-15 lead in favor of the Lady Cats on the way, and it is good. It kind of hit the back of the iron, rolled dead, and then it dropped through. So 34-16, the Lady Cats with the lead. This is as close as Colleyville Heritage has been in quite a bit. They did make it 30-13 at one point. Griffin with the ball, working off a screen from Jackson on the left side. She'll get it off to Jaylee Owens. A three from the left is off the iron, no good. Rebound comes to Blewett, who really, I think, traveled for Colleyville Heritage, but they didn't call it. She'll get it off to Gardner for the Lady Panthers, who come the other way. Gardner with the drive, with the dribble over to Blewett on the right side, and she'll get it into Lily Livingston. Now a three at the top is off the back of the iron, no good from Chloe Holt, and here come the Lady Cats with it. Cross-court pass to Butler, who wants to drive against Gardner, and she will drive, and they will get the defensive foul against Gardner, who was trying to hold her ground as Butler was driving to the basket, but Gardner did not get set, and so Butler was able to get to the basket. And we'll see if they're going to say free throws or if it's out of bounds. They will say it's an out-of-bounds play. So that means no free throws for the Lady Cats on this possession. Kate Jackson and Jaylee Owens will check out. Brenna Clock is back in along with Sarah Edwards for the Lady Cats here in a 34-16 lead. Brooklyn Dempsey on the drive, off the iron, no good, and then knocking it out of bounds is Brenna Clock on the offense, on the defensive side. She was trying to at least play more defender there. She didn't really have a great opportunity to come down with the rebound there, so she just knocked it out of the hands to prevent the fast break for Colleyville Heritage. So the Lady Panthers will inbounds here. 34-16 lead, down to 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Happy that you're with us here on NTX Varsity Sports in this Class 5A Division I Region I opening round playoff game. Urian with a three on the left side. That's off the iron, no good. Edwards tries to fight for the defensive rebound, fight for the loose ball. Comes out of there is Liz Griffin for Aledo. Cross-court pass to Butler on the streaking layup. That is good. That is pretty basketball. Liz Griffin finding Tiara Butler on the fast break opportunity. The lead is back to 20 at 36-16. Urian on the right side. Butler tries to knock it away from Chloe Holt, but she can't. Heritage retains possession. This is Blewett on the left wing in front of the Heritage bench. She'll get it off to Austin Connect, who will drive now. Three from the left side is off the iron, no good. Rebound on the putback is no good, and we got a foul underneath. The three taken from Austin Connect, and then Chloe Holt came up with it, and she got fouled. Or I should say, Austin Connect came up with it. And so Chloe Holt on the putback got fouled on the way, so she'll shoot two here at 1:15. Beg your pardon on that. And the foul goes against Butler. That's her third. And the first free throw for Chloe Holt is good. Off the backboard and in. Did not call glass. Did not call, but it still counts. 36-17.
Kevin, if they need a backup quarterback, that pass just a moment ago on Aledo was
Heck of a play there by Liz Griffin. Second free throw on the way. Rattles in and out. And the rebound comes to Brenna Clock of Aledo. Here come the Lady Cats the other way. Three from the right from Jaylee Owens. It's good. Jaylee Owens with her second three from the right baseline in front of the Aledo bench. The bench goes nuts, and it's 39-17. The Lady Cats lead here. Under a minute to play here, third quarter. Here comes Urian on the left side being hounded by Kate Jackson, who knocks it out of her hands. It will stay with Colleyville Heritage, but great defense there, and that slow start is over for the Lady Cats. Again, they didn't score for the first 2.5 minutes. They were stuck on 30 for a while, now up to 39. Munoz with the inbounds pass. A three from the left side is an air ball that was coming off the hands of Livy Livingston of Colleyville Heritage, and Brooklyn Dempsey comes down with it for Aledo here. Working off the dribble is Sarah Edwards between the circles. Now Brooklyn Dempsey on the left side being picked up by Blewett. She has to get rid of it because she's holding it. Gets it off to Owens on the drive. Now she'll back it out in between the circles. Hands it off to Kate Jackson in front of the Aledo bench. Down to 20 seconds to play. Bounce pass comes to Sarah Edwards. She'll drive with the left hand. Gets it off to Clock. Gets it over to Kate Jackson. She loses the basketball. Samari Stevenson picks it up for Colleyville Heritage in the closing 9 seconds. Stevenson gets it blocked by Brooklyn Dempsey as she was driving all the way to the basket, and a great job by Brooklyn to just knock it out of her hands as she was trying to go up with it. No foul on the play. It will stay with Colleyville Heritage with 6.9 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Lady Panthers trying to get it in. They do get it to Stevenson at the top. She's been pretty quiet. She'll take a shot with 3 seconds to go. It's an air ball. It goes out of bounds with 1.2 seconds to play. Aledo will get it back, and they will hold at least a 22-point lead here. Dempsey will fire it off from half court, and it is short. So the Lady Cats again got off to the slow start in the third quarter, but then they got things going here. A couple of threes. Great transition play from Liz Griffin to Tiara Butler, and it's 39-17. The Lady Cats lead Colleyville Heritage. Back with the fourth and final right after this.
Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go! Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go!
Plains Capital Bank is excited to cheer on the amazing Aledo Bearcats for another great season. At Plains Capital, they take care of all your banking needs with exceptional service that makes you feel like an MVP. Get Plains Capital Bank on your team. Visit their branch at the shops at Willow Park, Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go Bearcats! Take state! Plains Capital Bank. Member FDIC.
Today's broadcast is sponsored in part by JDS Realty, where clients always come first. Buying or selling a home is more than a transaction. It's a life-changing experience. That's why the team at JDS Realty delivers personalized service, constant communication, and trusted guidance every step of the process. When experience, trust, and results matter most, choose JDS Realty for buyers, sellers, and families' futures everywhere.
Aledo's ball to start this fourth quarter as the arrow favors them here at Eagle Mountain High School. Kevin Longquist bringing you coverage of Aledo Lady Cats basketball here on NTX Varsity Sports.com. Lady Cats will start with the ball. Tiara Butler loses the pass inside. Now she picks it up, hands it off to Kate Jackson out of Liz Griffin in front of the Aledo bench on the baseline. She'll dump it in, and she'll get it to Kate Jackson, but it is knocked out of bounds, and we actually got a foul called against Colleyville Heritage here. So Aledo will inbound underneath its own basket as Brooklyn Dempsey will do the honors. See if they'll do what they did on the last time when they called that timeout. Pass comes to Butler, who loses the basketball. She was trying to streak to the basket, but too much traffic there, and so the turnover goes against the Lady Cats, and the Lady Panthers come up with it. But the ball gets kicked, and the Lady Cats come out of it. That's Kate Jackson with the steal. It went off of one of the Colleyville Heritage players' foot, and it went right into the arms of Kate Jackson. Liz Griffin gets it, and now we got a foul away from the basketball. We got a hold going against Colleyville Heritage's Zadie Munoz as she was holding up Kate Jackson. So the second team foul against Colleyville Heritage here in this fourth quarter. 39-17, Aledo leads this opening round playoff game, trying to get to the area round for the second consecutive year. Kate Jackson to Brooklyn Dempsey on the left side. She'll drive baseline, puts it off the glass, no good, but Brooklyn Dempsey will be shooting free throws. She'll get 2 shots. The foul goes against Colleyville Heritage's Landon Blewett. Brooklyn Dempsey will be shooting 2 free throws here. Points have been hard to come by for these Lady Cats in the second half. They had 30 at halftime. First free throw is no good for Brooklyn Dempsey as it rolls out. They had 20 at the end of the first quarter, so only 10 in the third quarter, and then just 9 in the third quarter. So trying to get the offense going here as things slowed down just a bit. Second free throw for Dempsey is also no good. That hits off the back of the iron, so Colleyville Heritage will come away with it. Elle Gardner will bring it up. She's picked up by Brooklyn Dempsey at half court. Here comes Gardner trying to drive, work off a screen, and I think we got a foul on Aledo on the drive. Samari Stevenson was trying to set the screen, and she got tripped and bumped into. One of the Aledo players picked up the foul. Didn't signal who it was, but it'll be against the Lady Cats. And now we got an offensive foul going against Colleyville Heritage. I think that's against, it's going to go against Chloe Holt on an illegal screen. So the turnover goes against the Lady Panthers, and the Lady Cats will bring it back up. We had a whistle, and then we had a buzzer here from the officials table. We're on opposite side of where the benches are, so they had a stop here. I think they were trying to get a substitution in. And so that substitution is made for Colleyville Heritage as Lily Livingston checks in for Chloe Holt. Holt was picking up her third foul on that offensive foul just a few moments ago. So Aledo basketball here. Butler will look inside for Kate Jackson. Can't find her there. Pass comes to Brooklyn Dempsey. It goes out beyond her, but it's saved by Liz Griffin. She will drive on the right side. Behind the back dribble. She'll get it back out to Jackson. Trying to gets it poked away from her, but she gets it back. Griffin will have the basketball. Working against Blewett. Griffin will drive, loses the basketball on the drive up. The ball will go out of bounds off her thigh, and so a turnover against the Lady Cats here. She was trying to drive, was Liz Griffin, but she couldn't get it all the way to the basket, and so she just lost it off her foot on the deflection. So Colleyville Heritage has it here. Gardner's pass gets picked off and stolen by Brooklyn Dempsey all the other way. She drives, and she turns it over. It goes out of bounds. Good defense there by Elle Gardner as Brooklyn Dempsey was trying to drive, but Gardner held her ground. And as Dempsey was trying to drive in there, it actually went off her leg and out of bounds, and that's what this Fort Worth crew ruled. So it goes off of Aledo, and Colleyville Heritage gets it back. Dempsey with the defense against Elle Gardner. Gardner loses the basketball, gets it knocked out of her hands, but saves it. Finds Samari Stevenson, finally gets it over to Blewett on the left side. She'll pass it out to Gardner, looking for Blewett at the top between the circles. Picked up now by Clock. A three from the right side is long, but the Samari Stevenson offensive rebound, her putback is no good. Blewett comes out of there with the offensive rebound for Colleyville Heritage to Gardner. Now they want to reset, but we have a whistle, and I think Blewett stepped out on the baseline in the corner on the Colleyville Heritage side of the court. So a turnover against Colleyville Heritage, and Aledo will get the basketball back. No scoring in this fourth quarter with 2 minutes and 20 seconds gone by. They have not started the game clock, though, for whatever reason. Now they do. About 4 or 5 seconds ran before they even restarted it. Jackson with the ball for Aledo. She'll get it to Tiara Butler. To Jackson on the right wing, foul line extended in front of the Aledo bench. Jackson with the right-handed dribble, gets it to Liz Griffin between the circles, gets it poked away, but she is able to retrieve it. Now she'll drive on the right baseline. Jumper is off the iron, no good. Excuse me, Butler with the offensive rebound. Jackson, a three at the top, good. Kate Jackson, a three at the top, and it's 42-17, Aledo leads. Good movement there by the Lady Cats, at least on the offensive rebounding side of things, to keep that possession alive. Here comes Heritage the other way. Stevenson, their leading scorer, has been held to just a bucket so far. Pass comes to her on the inside. She's double-teamed in the low block, and we got a whistle and a foul. And we'll see what they're going to get on that. They're going to get the foul on Aledo's Tiara Butler, so that's her fourth. By the way, Brenna Clock will check out, but Tiara Butler stays in there with 4 fouls. But Aledo holding a 25-point lead here with 4:40 to play here. Stevenson on the drive, gets it knocked out of her hands, gets it to Gardner, wants to drive, and she'll get it off to Austin Connect, who has checked in for the Lady Panthers here. To Gardner, looks for some movement as she held up her dribble there. Good defense there by Cardenas for Aledo against Connect. Connect with the left-handed dribble, wants to drive the left line, and it goes off her leg and out of bounds, but they're going to say Colleyville Heritage will retain possession with 4:20 to play here in this fourth quarter. 42-17, Aledo leads. Colleyville Heritage basketball here. Zadie Munoz with the basketball on the right side. She'll take a jumper from about 14. That's no good, but the foul goes against Brooklyn Decker, who hit her on the hand on the shot attempt. So 2 shots coming for Zadie Munoz here. Munoz, excuse me. Now, I would say that this Aledo crowd has dwarfed the Colleyville Heritage crowd by at least 6-1, if you wanted to look at ratios like this. First free throw from Munoz is no good. Second one is coming up here. On the way, and it's off the back of the iron, no good, but Stevenson comes up with the offensive rebound for Heritage. Elle Gardner will take a jumper off the feed, but she misses, and Cardenia is coming up with it for Aledo. She'll get it off to Liz Griffin on the right side. She'll get it to Brooklyn Dempsey at the top between the circles. She'll drive the right line. She will lay it up and in. Great job there by Brooklyn Dempsey. She saw the opening on the right side, drove it up and in, and it's now 44-17 in favor of the Lady Cats here. Well on their way to going to the area playoff round later this week. Heritage the other way. 3 is off the back of the iron. No good. Austin Connect took that shot. Really hit the backboard. Here comes Aledo the other way. Pass to Brooklyn Dempsey in the backcourt is off her hands, but trying to save it for Colleyville Heritage was Zadie Munoz. She loses it out of bounds, and so Aledo will retain possession here at 3:33 to play here in this fourth quarter. Happy that you're with us here on NTXVarsitySports.com. We'll have Donnie Ott and one of the players he chooses to bring over from the Aledo bench in our postgame show, celebrating this Aledo victory here. Pass gets knocked away on the inbounds pass, so Aledo will retain possession here, rather, as Sarah Edwards will inbound it. She will dump it off to the top to Gardenias, to Kate Jackson, to Brooklyn Dempsey on the right side in front of the Aledo bench. Gets it back out to Tiara Butler, playing with the 4 fouls. Butler will get it off to Edwards on the right wing. Now she'll bring it back out to Butler on the right side. They want to work on a screen. Butler's asking for the screen. Now she'll tie it into Kate Jackson, who will lay it up and in. Great ball movement there, as no one picked up Kate Jackson streaking from the left side on the baseline. And Tiara Butler with team basketball there, an assist for her, and a 46-17 lead for the Lady Cats. Here comes Elle Gardner the other way for the Lady Cats. Holds up the dribble, gets it to the right side, gets it over to Connect, who drives in the middle. Then she holds it up. Now she'll get it off to Holt, back to Connect at the top. She'll play catch with Lily Livingston, and then Holt gets it knocked away, and then she commits the foul against the Lady Cats. So it'll be 2 shots the other way for the Lady Cats. And Tiara Butler should be at the line for Aledo. She's been pretty quiet here in this second half. Remember, she had the big first quarter with 9 points. Check that Kate Jackson will be the foul shooter for the Lady Cats, so she'll get 2 shots here as Colleyville Heritage is over the limit. So 2 shots for Kate Jackson here. Right-hander on the way, and it's off the back of the iron, no good. Again, the winner, the Lady Cats will get either Joshua or Pascal. That game tipped off at 6 o'clock, so they're probably at the half here as we're looking at 6:30. Couple of substitutions now for the Lady Panthers, as it looks like Courtney Lee, their head coach, is somewhat conceited here as she makes a couple of wholesale substitutions here. Second free throw was missed by Kate Jackson, so the lead remains the same at 46-17. Heritage the other way. And a couple of substitutions for the Lady Cats as well, as they've kind of emptied their bench, as Nasoma Emeka Okoye is in the ball game, making her first appearance. Lady Panthers the other way. Lily Livingston. Shot gets knocked away, and the shot was blocked by Aledo's Caitlin Lowe, who is also one of the late arrivals for the Lady Cats in this ball game. And now a substitution timeout called here, so Donnie Ott can get all of his players in. Sawyer Voigt will check in, or at least she had checked in. So we're going to take a timeout here. We want to remind you that Aledo Bearcats basketball is brought to you by H5 Sports Barn. H5 Sports Barn and Nye Physio and Performance can help unlock your athletic potential and elevate your game like the Aledo Bearcats. With expert sports physical therapy, tailored recovery plans, and top-notch sports performance training, H5 Sports Barn, proud supporters of the Aledo Bearcats. And a reminder that the Aledo Coaches Show podcast will be this coming Wednesday night, 7 o'clock at Parker County Brewing Company. We'll have both Donnie Ott and the boys basketball coach Drew Baker talking about things that have transpired with their programs. Of course, the Lady Cats well on their way to their opening round playoff victory here at the 2:03 mark of the fourth quarter here, leading by a score of 46-17. The boys finished up their regular season this past Friday, beat Brewer, so they finished the regular season at 26-6 overall and 12-0 in district play. They have the bye technically, which is tomorrow, the last day of the regular season, but they are off this week, and Drew Baker saying on the podcast last week that he is not playing a warm-up game. They will not play until next week in the playoffs, and they still don't know who they're going to play. They think they're going to get Denton Ryan in the opening round, but they're not 100% sure on that. After a series of loose balls on the floor between Heritage and Aledo came out of it, and then they turned it over immediately, and Heritage got it back. Landon Blewett with the basketball. She'll get it off to Kylie Brooks, gets it off to Lily Livingston on the left side, back to Blewett, who drives on the baseline, and it's good, off the backboard, good. Nice play there by Kylie Blewett, another bucket for her, and it's 46-19 in favor of the Lady Cats here with 1 minute and 20 seconds to play in our ball game. Lady Cats on their way to a record of 25-7. Cardenas with the ball for the Lady Cats as all of the starters are out for Aledo as they are putting this one away. Steal in the backcourt here, but saved by Emeka Okoye for Aledo here. Down to 60 seconds in our ball game. 46-19, Aledo leads. Great defense there by Blewett for Colleyville Heritage. She'll feed it off to zero to Voigt, who got it off to Cardenas, who missed, but then the putback is there for Aledo, and it's 48-19 there. Give the basket to Sarah Edwards, I believe, on that. We'll check that here in just a few moments. Kind of got screened off of that. Down to the last 35 seconds. Driving it for Colleyville Heritage is Zadie Munoz. She'll get it off. A three from the left side coming from Kylie Brooks is no good. The ball on the floor saved and now picked up by Cardenas of Aledo, and they can dribble this out if they want to do that here. Down to 20 seconds. Voigt with the basketball for Aledo. She'll get it off to Caitlin Lowe on the right baseline. She's double teamed. She'll get it off to Okoye at the top to Sarah Edwards, who will take a three from the left. It's off the iron, no good. And we got a whistle and a foul with 5.4 seconds to go. So playing it straight up are both of these teams here as they bring in the second teamers pretty much. And so they're going to play it out to the end. 48-19, Aledo leads. And because of the foul going against Aledo's Kennedy Cardenas, at the line shooting two for Colleyville Heritage will be Landon Blewett here. So Thursday night basketball is in Aledo Lady Cats' future. First free throw on the way from Blewett is good. She has one more coming here. Second one on the way and is good as well. Inbounds pass comes to Sarah Edwards. She will dribble it across the midcourt stripe, and that is your ball game. Lady Cats are advancing on to the area round of the playoffs with an authoritative 48-21 victory over Colleyville Heritage tonight in the Class 5A Division I Region 1 opening round. Lady Cats improved to 25-7. They now have an 11-game winning streak. Colleyville Heritage concludes its season at 15-17. They were making their third playoff appearance in the last 4 years, but the Lady Cats now moving on to play Thursday, more than likely in Godley, if it's going to be Joshua. If it's Pascal who pulls off the upset tonight over Joshua, then we have another thing to talk about. Stick around. The postgame show comes your way next. 48-21, Aledo over Colleyville Heritage. And you're listening to Aledo Lady Cats basketball on NTX Varsity Sports.com, a presentation of the Worldwide Wrench.
Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go! Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go!
Plains Capital Bank is excited to cheer on the amazing Aledo Bearcats for another great season. At Plains Capital, they take care of all your banking needs with exceptional service that makes you feel like an MVP. Get Plains Capital Bank on your team. Visit their branch at the shops at Willow Park, Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go Bearcats! Take state! Plains Capital Bank. Member FDIC.
Texas drivers, it's time to move up to Mazda at Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Get a 2025 Mazda CX-5 Turbo with 0.9% APR or lease for just $259 a month. Or go electrified with the 2026 Mazda CX-70 FEV with 0.9% APR or lease from $299 a month. Plus $750 Mazda loyalty or $500 military appreciation. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth and HileyMazdaofFortWorth.com.
For over 10 years, home builders and remodelers have trusted Oakline Floors for all their flooring needs. Whether you're a home builder needing full house design selections or a homeowner needing a fresh update, Oakline's experienced designers will guide you through the design process with your design requirements and project budget in mind. They have the largest flooring design center in Parker County. Visit oaklinefloors.net. Oakline Floors supports the Aledo Bearcats. Go Bearcats!
Today's broadcast is sponsored in part by JDS Realty, where clients always come first. Buying or selling a home is more than a transaction. It's a life-changing experience. That's why the team at JDS Realty delivers personalized service, constant communication, and trusted guidance every step of the process. When experience, trust, and results matter most, choose JDS Realty for buyers, sellers, and families' futures everywhere.
Hello, this is Pastor Clark Bozier. I am the pastor of the Willow Park Baptist Church, which is located at 777 Crown Point Boulevard in Willow Park, Texas. Willow Park Baptist Church is a proud sponsor of Aledo High School. I'd like to take this opportunity to personally invite you and your family to attend one of our Sunday morning services at 8:30 or 10, and again that evening at 5 p.m. For more information, visit our website, willowparkbaptist.org. Willow Park Baptist Church. We are a church on an eternal mission. Go Bearcats.
For over 10 years, home builders and remodelers have trusted Oakline Floors for all their flooring needs. Whether you're a home builder needing full house design selections or a homeowner needing a fresh update, Oakline's experienced designers will guide you through the design process with your design requirements and project budget in mind. They have the largest flooring design center in Parker County. Visit oaklinefloors.net. Oakline Floors supports the Aledo Bearcats. Go Bearcats!
Welcome to the postgame show here on NTXVarsitySports.com. Kevin Lonnquist courtside here at Eagle Mountain following the conclusion of the Aledo Lady Cats' 48-21 victory over the Colleyville Heritage Lady Panthers. Now joined by senior point guard Liz Griffin. See, this is no different from you talking to me on the podcast, so congratulations on the victory.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about the offensive explosion you all had in the first quarter. 20 points you got after them pretty quickly here. Just tell us about what was working offensively for you guys. That you obviously got hot with a few threes on your own part, but just talk about what got going for you guys there.
Yeah, I think we were moving the ball really well, and we were finding those open shots, and we were hitting them that quarter. But, yeah, I think it's just our ball movement and the way we opened each other up.
The defense coming up with a lot of steals in the first quarter. I think you guys actually had like 6. I think they turned it over 10 times in the first half. 6 of those were because of your steals. That full court press really did the job. Talk about that, because obviously Brooklyn sets the tone.
Yes, sir. Brooklyn really got up, pressured them. She really made a difference by, creating that energy, and we got the balls back, and I think that helped us in transition too, because we found some points off of that.
Yeah, you guys got this up to a 24-point lead. I mean, Tiara had a huge first quarter just like you, but when you guys get off to such a huge lead like that, how much does the intensity get impacted to where you guys maybe don't come out the second half like you want to, because there was kind of a fog, if you will, to start the second half?
Yes, sir. We kind of started off really slow, and that kind of has been a trend for us this year, and we need to fix that, because now we're getting our first quarter good, but we're still going into that second quarter without energy, and we need to create that.
And then the second half, I mean, for you guys, was it more about managing just the second half, that sort of thing, or how would you describe just the way you guys played it? You were up by 21 at the half, and so it was going to have to take an epic collapse for you all not to get this done, but let's talk about that a little bit, Liz.
No, the goal is to still push the ball and to still push the pace. I don't think that we executed that very well, but it's a learning experience, and we can go into our next game knowing we can't do that, because we're going to be playing better teams, and as we get on, go along playoffs, it's going to get harder, so we have to keep playing with energy in the second half and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
All right, congratulations. We're going to bring in Brenna Clock here on this, and following the 48-21 lead here for the Lady Cats taking care of things. Brenna, congratulations to you. I just had you on the podcast last week, so you're becoming quite a veteran of this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so obviously, I think the key for you guys was a couple of things. Obviously, your full court press, but at the same time, Samari Stevenson, their best player, you guys really did shut her down. Just talk about the defensive effort against her.
I think our focus was her, and so we played a lot of good teams that we've had to shut down one or two players, and it's no different. We just have a game plan, and all of us girls are all in, and we can stick to it, and that's how we shut her down.
The quick start for you all as far as the getting off to that 20-2 lead there. I mean, what did that mean to you guys? I mean, because you got them with a 7 spot to start. They get a timeout, and so they're kind of flustered there. What kind of energy did that give you?
It brings a lot of energy, especially like we were moving the ball so well, and it's just like a testament to how well we can work as a team, and just it's always a goal for the team to call the first time out, and that's exactly what we got done.
As far as just watching Tiara work, I mean, you've played alongside her a lot, but when she gets going like that offensively, what's the most dangerous part about her game?
You really, like, everything about her game is dangerous. You really can't focus on one thing with her. She can take it to the rack. She can shoot threes. She can lock you down pretty well. So everything about her is pretty dangerous.
And I think for your presence in the post, too, you changed a lot of shots. You were obviously making things a little bit difficult for them on dribble penetration, doing your job.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that in terms of what you saw there, what you were able to take away from them, because they really could. I mean, they got a couple of baskets inside that's going to happen, but for anything they wanted to try and go inside, none shall pass.
Yeah. Coach Elms is a great coach with us with post work, and I think she just teaches us well how to defend the post.
All right, congratulations to you, and
Thank you.
We'll see you on Thursday, probably in Godley, but have a good couple of days of work,
Yes,
and we'll see you in a couple of days. Okay, and the best thing is you get to wear the uniform. That's always
Yes,
a good
sir.
thing.
Thank you.
All right, Brenna Clock with us. Also want to thank Liz Griffin for joining us. Now being joined by head coach Donnie Ott following that 48-21 victory there, and as he puts his headset on, I want to ask you, as your team had this monstrous lead at halftime, but you were slow coming out of the gate in the third quarter. You call a timeout there. I think it was like 5:33 to play in the second quarter. You get that inbounds pass in the basket there, but what was the concern that you had there? I don't think the lead wasn't concerned, but just maybe the way they were playing that might have been the concern.
Yeah, they jumped in man, and, they didn't run man at all in the first half, and they jumped in man, and we had 6 turnovers in the first 2 minutes. We kind of act like we've never seen man-to-man before, and it's something that we thrive against generally when people play man on us. And so I just felt like I needed to call a timeout there to settle them down and make sure they knew exactly what all they were in and what we needed to do to execute right to make it work. And I was proud of the way they responded out of the timeout for sure, but we just gave up too many offensive rebounds there in that third quarter. And, we talked about at halftime, they had 7 offensive rebounds in that first half.
Yeah, as far as you all have been through a lot of these types of games in district play already where you all had commanding leads. And Liz was just talking about how that drop-off to start the third quarter kind of impacts them and so forth. So it's kind of like, you don't want to say it's a hereditary or a repeat or a trend or thing like that. But when you do have such a big lead like that, sometimes it does kind of catch a team from an intensity standpoint. So what's the challenge there that a coach has to deal with something like that when you have such a wide margin of a lead?
Yeah, we started off so hot. It was we hit 4 threes right off the bat, got up 20-2, and then it was almost like the good start sucked the life out of the gym. It was like quiet in here, and it was like, man,
it's a pretty gym.
Yeah, but we just didn't have that kind of energy that I felt like we needed to have. And then the second half, it was a 3-point game. It was 10-7 in the second quarter, and so, I just and it's hard sometimes when you get up so big to keep them engaged and motivated. But it's like I told them at halftime, I was like, you can't have lulls like that in the playoffs. You can't. If you do, you'll lose. So we've got to understand that before Thursday, because Joshua's going to play hard. They're going to play hard for 4 quarters, and they're well coached. And we're not going to be allowed to have lulls like we did today, Thursday.
Yeah, I think their record is 33-4. So and 3 of their losses were to both Cleburne and Mansfield Summit, I believe. Cleburne, which won that district in 8-5-8 early. If it is them and everything points to them, what do you know about the Lady Owls at this point?
We scrimmaged them early in the year. It's our first scrimmage. They're super competitive. They play hard. They got a point guard that's signed to Duke for soccer, but she's super athletic and plays hard. And they're going to compete. And for them, it's the Super Bowl. It's a chance to put Joshua on the map, to beat Aledo. So they're going to come out and play hard, and they're going to compete. And like I said, I love Coach Dixon. He does a great job there. And I think he'll have them prepared, and so we're going to have to be ready to go. And I think our kids will. I think they'll respond. I mean, when they're tested and their backs are against the wall, like in the McDonald's tournament, the Duncanville tournament, we'll play. And so but we can't have these lulls. And we're going to talk about it in the locker room, and we'll address it tomorrow in practice and Wednesday for sure.
All right, and then for the listeners, for those who don't know, I know you told me about this, but again, presuming that this is Joshua, just let everybody know what the details of that area playoff would look like.
Still working out the time, but it will be in Godley on Thursday. I just don't know the time yet. I don't know if we're home or visitors. We're going to iron all that out tonight. We just wanted to make sure we locked down a gym. That was a big thing. So we'll be Thursday in Joshua.
All right.
In Godley.
In Godley there. Okay, well, first test for you passed. I think first test for us here on NTX Varsity Sports passed as well. We had a lot of fun doing it. Thanks for the time.
I appreciate you so much, Kevin. Thank you all so much for doing this for the fans out there. We appreciate you.
All right, sounds good. We'll see the Lady Cats again Thursday night, more than likely in Godley, when they take on what we presume to be the Joshua Lady Owls. They're in their second half of their game over against Pascal. Before we sign off, we want to let you know the scores for the Lady Cats tonight. Tiara Butler led the way with 11 points, Liz Griffin with 9, so they didn't score in the second half. But Jaylee Owens also had 8 points. Should also mention, too, that Brooklyn Dempsey added 9 points as well. She had a couple of nice-looking baskets on drive to the baskets and out-of-bounds plays. Kate Jackson finished with 7, and then Caitlin Lowe added the final 2. So the Lady Cats, I should say, jumped off to that 20-2 lead. They were never headed after that, and this final score finished at 48-21. Lady Cats are now 25-7. Remember, they are ranked 14th in the Class 5A state poll by the Texas Association of Basketball Coaches. We will talk to you on Thursday night or Thursday evening, whenever that gets worked out, but it will be Thursday, so just check Aledo's social media accounts as well as the school website for all the details, and we will be on the air 30 minutes before the tip-off between the Lady Cats and their opponent, again, more than likely Joshua. So for Parker Burroughs here at Eagle Mountain High School, I'm Kevin Lonnquist. Once again, the final score here in this Class 5A Division I Region I opening round playoff game. It was the Aledo Lady Cats 48, the Colleyville Heritage Lady Panthers 21. Lady Cats are moving on to the area round. We'll see you on Thursday. So long, everybody. And the final score here in this Class 5A Division I Region I opening round playoff game. It was the Aledo Lady Cats 48, the Colleyville Heritage Lady Panthers 21. Lady Cats are moving on to the area round. We'll see you on Thursday. So long, everybody. And the final score here in this Class 5A Division I Region I opening round playoff game. It was the Aledo Lady Cats 48, the Colleyville Heritage Lady Panthers 21. Lady Cats are moving on to the area round. We'll see you on Thursday. So long, everybody. And the final score here in this Class 5A Division I Region I opening round playoff game. It was the Aledo Lady Cats 48, the Colleyville Heritage Lady Panthers 21. Lady Cats are moving on to the area round. We'll see you on Thursday. So long, everybody.